Okay, y'all, so we are going to try to get through this without the mosquitoes seriously taking over. I have been bit, and they're just being very disrespectful today. But let's try to get what we need to get done. Today, I want to talk to you about planting carrots in containers. So let's go ahead and let's get started. And now apparently the flies think that it's okay to continue to swarm around my head. But hello everyone, and thank you all so much for stopping by today. So it was a little cloudy out here, which is when I like to go ahead and plant things if I'm going to plant, but the sun has came back out, but the show must go on. So today I want to talk to you about carrots that we are going to plant in the containers, and I want to talk to you about this variety. And you may have seen other videos where we planted this, but a lot of people have expressed that they have a hard time growing carrots. So what I want to do is I want to give you some tips about planting carrots so that you will have a good crop when it's time to harvest the carrots. Okay, so here's the thing really quick. I've shared with you on our lives that carrots was not one of the vegetables that I had to have. I would eat it to make sure that I get my vegetable content, or the amount of vegetables I needed in a day. I would put it on my salad. Sometimes we would cook it other ways, but it wasn't a vegetable that I just absolutely had to have until I started to grow my own. I've found out what people were talking about. So this is the same variety here that I grew many seasons ago, and when I harvested them and I roasted them with nothing but salt, pepper, and olive oil, I became I found out I found out why people are so crazy about carrots. Those were the most sweetest, yummiest carrots that I've had. And they weren't sweet because I put sugar on them, because I put honey on them. This was a natural sweetness. So this is like my go-to, but I also plant other varieties of carrots in the garden. Now, I want to show you these because these are very easy. They can be planted in containers, but let me tell you really quick, if you want to plant carrots in a container, you need to make sure, depending on the variety, that the container has enough depth, okay, so that it can be able to grow downwards, because carrots are considered a root crop and they grow under the soil. And the main thing I want to tell you that I think a lot of people have problems with is your soil needs to be nice and fluffy and loose, so that as the carrots grow down, it doesn't get stuck, or it doesn't, you see how some of the carrots form very funny. So you don't want compact soil, because the carrots they have to grow downwards, and that soil needs to be nice and loose and fluffy so that it will not have a problem growing downwards. Now, as far as your containers, it depends on the variety. Just make sure that you have enough space for those carrots to grow down in. Now, our container that I'll show you in just a second is plenty, as far as the depth, it has enough depth for it. But I also want to just give you some other pointers before I show you where we're going to plant them, and just let you know that carrots are very easy to grow and they're fun to grow. If you have kids, they are fun to grow. Now I have to grow them like every single season. Okay, so before we get started, now I am starting these from seeds, but this is what I want you to do. Click on the link in the description and get the seed starting masterclass. And the reason why I want you to get that is because just because I am starting my carrots may not be it may not be the right time for you to start your carrots. So what the seed starting masterclass is going to do is going to go over all of that depending on your area. You need to know these things so that when you see other people doing other things, you will know when the time is right for you. But I want to share with you why I love this seed tape. It's very easy to get started. And the seed tapes are pretty much like they have the right spacing. Now, I still plant other varieties of carrots that I direct sow, and basically that is just putting the seeds directly into the ground. So I still grow other types of carrots, but once they germinate, I have to go back in and I have to thin them out, and according to what the packages said, how far to space them apart. With these right here, I really don't have to thin these out, and it's just so easy. You just make, and I'll show you in a second, you just make like a little burrow or a little tunnel, lay the seed tape in, and then cover it up and let them germinate and grow. Now, what I'll tell you is with anything that I start, I like to go ahead and wet my soil very good so that when I'm done, whether it's direct sowing or planting a transplant into whatever we're using to transplant them in, that you don't have to do a whole bunch of watering, especially when you direct sow, because you can potentially dislodge the seeds if you direct sow them and then have to put a whole bunch of water on them. So that's the only prep that I do. I prep my soil, make sure that it's loose for the carrots. I go ahead and add some slow release fertilizer in, and I'll show you that. It's just the regular garden tone slow release. We've talked about that before. And then I also go ahead and wet my soil really good so that once I'm done, I may have to mist it just a little bit, but not just put a whole bunch of water on there. And I just wait for them to germinate. So let's go ahead and I'll take you down to our container. And I just want to encourage you that you can do this too. You can grow carrots in a container too. So many people think we have to have this big space to grow, and you don't. You do not. You can grow this right in a container. So let's go ahead and let me take you down to where we're going to go ahead and start our carrot seeds. Okay, so we had a lot of background noise, so I just want to show you, this is the container that we are using to grow our carrots in. I've already prepped it. This is the garden tone, the slow release fertilizer that I was telling you about. I already wet my soil, so now I am ready to go ahead and get these planted. Okay, so I just want to show you that our container is nice and loose. The soil is fluffy. And we've done that pretty far down, so the carrots will have no problem pushing down as they continue to grow. Like, they should grow just fine because we have our soil nice and loose. Okay, so we're just going to make some little tunnels or burrows right here in the soil, and we're just literally going to lay the seed tape down and just cover it up. So this is our first initial sowing. I just wanted to start the carrots off. But as we continue to harvest some of our summer vegetables and make way for some of our fall vegetables, then we will continue to plant more carrots in the garden. But really quick, I just want to show you what the seed tape looks like. It comes like this, and you just find the beginning of the seed tape and you just literally lay it down and just cover it up with soil. And that's it. So all we need to do now is just wait for it to germinate and make sure that we keep the soil moist until they germinate. You don't want the soil to go dry. It could hinder germination. And then another thing that I do is I always have a garden calendar. I put on my garden calendar when I planted my seeds, and then I also go back when they germinate. So I make sure I put when I germinated my seeds. Now what I want to show you is some carrots that we harvested from earlier this season. These are the same carrots. So I am so excited to watch them grow, and then we'll be planting more as we go into the fall season. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you share this video with your family and your friends. If you are not a subscriber, we would absolutely love to have you as a subscriber, so make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video, bye bye.